Deuteronomy chapter 19, verse 1. When the Lord your God destroys the nations whose land he is giving you, you will take over their land and settle in their towns and homes. Verse 2. Then you must set apart 3 cities of refuge in the land the Lord your God is giving you. Verse 3. Survey the territory and divide the land the Lord your God is giving you into 3 districts, with one of these cities in each district. Then anyone who has killed someone can flee to one of the cities of refuge for safety. Verse 4. If someone kills another person unintentionally without previous hostility, the slayer may flee to any of these cities to live in safety. Verse 5. For example, suppose someone goes into the forest with a neighbor to cut wood, and suppose one of them swings an axe to chop down a tree, and the axe head flies off the handle, killing the other person. In such cases, the slayer may flee to one of the cities of refuge to live in safety. Verse 6. If the distance to the nearest city of refuge is too far, an enraged avenger might be able to chase down and kill the person who caused the death. Then the slayer will die unfairly, since he had never shown hostility towards the person who died. Verse 7. That is why I am commanding you to set aside these 3 cities of refuge. Verse 8. And if the Lord your God enlarges your territory, as he swore to your ancestors, and gives you all the land he promised them. Verse 9. You must designate 3 additional cities of refuge. He will give you this land if you are careful to obey all the commands I have given you, and if you always love the Lord your God and walk in his ways. Verse 10. That way you will prevent the death of innocent people in the land the Lord your God is giving you as your special possession. You will not be held responsible for the death of innocent people. Verse 11. But suppose someone is hostile towards a neighbor and deliberately ambushes and murders him, and then flees to one of the cities of refuge. Verse 12. In that case, the elders of the murderer's hometown must send agents to the city of refuge and bring him back and hand him over to the dead person's avenger to be put to death. Verse 13. Do not feel sorry for that murderer. Purge from Israel the guilt of murdering innocent people, then all will go well with you. Verse 14. When you arrive in the land the Lord your God is giving you as your special possession, you must never steal anyone's land by moving the boundary markers your ancestors set up to mark their property. Verse 15. You must not convict anyone of a crime on the testimony of only one witness. The fact of the case must be established by the testimony of 2 or 3 witnesses. Verse 16. If malicious witnesses comes forward and accuses someone of a crime. Verse 17. Then both the accuser and the accused must appear before the Lord by coming to the priests and judges in office at that time. Verse 18. The judges must investigate the case thoroughly. If the accuser has brought false charge against his fellow Israelites. Verse 19. You must impose on the accuser the sentence he intended for the other person. In this way, you will purge such evil from among you. Verse 20. Then the rest of the people will hear about it and be afraid to do such an evil thing. Verse 21. You must show no pity for the guilty. Your rule should be life for life, eye for eye, tooth for tooth, and hand for hand, foot for foot. Amen.